Welcome back for another yummy update. Earlier today, we actually saw some juicy news, friends. Donald Pump, pictured here, bought another $5 million worth of Ethereum. And then a few hours later, 21 shares propose staking for the Ethereum ETFs. So if you read between the lines, friends, now we know why. Why is Donald Pump? He's been accumulating. He's got $400 million of Ethereum now, and they keep adding ETH. Why are they doing that? Well, they know something. And the good thing is, we can know something too. So this is the ETH BTC price right here. So Donald Pump has been accumulating on the way down, friends, which is pretty good. They've been accumulating. So they know something's going to happen in the future for ETH. They know that there's going to be more laws proposed. Something big is going to come alongside Bitcoin. And probably with the business cycle and optimism coming back, yes, things are going to start to turn around. What I'm going to do now, play some PUBG music. Okay. You should be swimming with the whales, friends. Very, very important. This is the transactions of his actual whale. He bought $5 million worth. Friends, you know, it's beautiful, man. You know when I report this, actually, friends, in real life, normie world, where it's boring now compared to crypto, normie world, friends, they're in total disbelief that Donald Trump is buying Ethereum. Total disbelief. They're like, how can you see this? Where? They always start like, where can you see this? Are you sure? Like, how do you know? Like, they don't know. I'm like, bro, do you understand it's a public blockchain? Like, they don't understand. They think it's a casino. It's like money in, something happens, you either lose it or you make money. That's how they see it. But yes, we can actually see these are transactions. This is buying. Look at these clips, $5 million. Another $5 million was bought 12 hours ago. You can actually see him up here 12 hours ago. A week ago, he bought $5 million as well. Another week ago, he bought another $5 million. So you can see this. They've actually got a total of $400 million now, which is cool. Now, friends, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you others BTC chart. And remember the business cycle. It's very, very... It's wonderful that I've been able to put this together here. Just so you can share with your friends and family. Like, everyone wants to know why. They're like, why, Sommi? Why? Why is everything sucky right now? Why are the altcoins pooped? Why have they been pooped? And then I've got the answer here, man. The business cycle. We had the longest ever below 50 reading of ISM. Now, remember, ISM, very intelligent how they do it. They go to every business, manufacturer, factory in America, and they ask them every month, are you doing orders that's greater than last month or less than last month? So, like, let's say you're supplying shampoo. They go, oh, I had to do 1,000 boxes. Okay, this month, how much did you have to do? They go, oh, I had to do 1,020 boxes. They go, oh, you're expanding. Because the business says they're like fulfilling the orders. And if you only had to do 950 boxes, they're like, oh, there's demands going down. And they compute all of that for everyone out here. And that's why this horizontal line that I put here is 50. Now, as you can see, friends, these are the cycles, right? 2013 peak, 2017 peak, 2021, and here's 2025. But look at this. In this trough part, we have up to 819 days of contraction, which is obviously just a follow-on effect from the zombie virus. That's pretty much what's happening. So as you get to know. But look at this. Recently, ISM ticked above 50. We're up here. We're right here. It's like we're ready for this next part. Banana zone. Okay? Now, you don't need to know the exact number and the readings out here, but you can see this nice cyclical sine wave, okay? And also interesting, we had a false start above 50 back here. Exactly 1 year ago, March. And then altcoins peaked there. So altcoins peaked, dropped, and then the ISM goes down because the data comes out month by month. Isn't it fascinating that we peaked inside in line with the ISM, which is interesting, right? So how did even PulseChain and Core Coins, not listed on exchanges, how did they peak exactly around March last year in line with the ISM? Like I tell you, friends, the cycle is big and it's powerful. And you know what else is big and powerful? None other than my big banana, which I will be consuming very, very shortly. And if you want a closer look, friends, you know the business ISM, you can see the racist Russell 2000. Now, friends, we know the racist Russell 2000, which is just US shitcoins. Remember I started talking about it a lot? Now, this is kind of funny, man. Like, friends, they're all watching me. Everyone in crypto is watching me, and they don't give me to their audience. No way, man. They can't make their audience smarter. No way. Of course they can't. But like, I watch stuff. It just does the circle loop. I discover something. I say something. I'm like, I guarantee this, this business ISM stuff, it's going to be moving around as well. No one's counted the days. You haven't seen a single person, friends, not one person in crypto. Be interesting for us. Now, here's the thing. Like, friends, there's no ego here. I don't give a crap. But it's important to me because, see, no one's counted the dates of how long we're contracting for. But if we start seeing that around, that's my signal from the universe. Once again, everyone's still watching, which means when our bags start pumping up, you know they're running in. You know they're running in. That's a good signal for us. I appreciate you for liking and subscribing. 4,500 videos. We're not stopping, friends. Bull market's just getting started. Okay, we've got plenty more. All these masterclasses out here. None of these are like fillers or anything, man. That's the best. Highest value content. I'm making content for someone like me who came in, who wanted to be caught with a Pokeball. Came in, I want material. Exactly what I'm doing, that's what I want. Okay? I don't want someone to spend like 48 minutes on like one little DeFi protocol, how to use it. No. I want big scope. I want macro things. How does it all tie in? Find me all these things. You got it. The racist Russell 2000 is still below the all-time high. It is the final key missing link. But also, friends, remember the ISM was low, Ethereum and the Russell 2000 is low. So it is what it is. The cycle is the cycle. You know, there's always a key missing link. And that does explain why everything has been slow so far. What I actually do, friends, I've got this chart from BCB. Shout out to him. It shows you, see this green part? Every single time in the past, the Russell 2000 had already been breaking the high. It's previous all-time high. Okay, so you see, it was previous all-time high was there, and previous all-time high. In this cycle, though, look at the all-time highs here. We are below it. What? Why are we below it? Well, look at the ISM. It is what it is. Okay. In a nutshell, because they printed so much money, inflation was way too hot. They had to aggressively pull liquidity. Yeah, Bitcoin keeps trotting along. It's just altcoins, as a reflection of the confidence, keeps contracting down because they got to get inflation down, and it is what it is. Just how the economy works out, but it's not directly an interest rate move per se. So don't let that fudge you or anything, or let it confuse you. It's just you see in this game long enough, friends. There's 1,000 variables. Something's going to change, and you know next time is going to be another new set of variables, and we'll get there. We'll get there. Now, baby dolls, I want to show you this. Others BTC comparison. So see these two bear markets. This is others BTC, okay? You see the green on the left and the red? Well, the green, friends, so look at actually in the green, what happened was we went down, but then we made and I'll show you now, we made a higher low, yeah? And then we were off to the races. This was big, okay? This was big, yes? Interesting, that's not zombie virus, by the way. That's just the end of December 2020. Zombie virus was like somewhere here. Funny. Interesting, right? Because business confidence was, I guess, strong enough to keep everything in line. And then we had DeFi season, came back down here and whatever, okay? Look what happened with us, though. With us, we made a lower low. Ouch. In the previous cycle, we made a higher low. Interesting. That ISM, the worst ever, and then we make a lower low. Now, many people, especially Bitcoin holders and a lot of copers out there, they think that this thing's never going to reverse up. They think this thing's going much lower and everything's going down here. I don't know what happens. I don't know. I'm just long, because if it doesn't go lower and it does this, well, you're going to have to wait another 4 years to make money. That's what it comes down to, okay? If it repeats again. So that's what we're hoping for. So there were some key differences between our cycle and then that previous bear market as well, right, which we're in. That last cycle, let you know, on the left, you had Donald Trump. Yes, you had Donald Trump was in on here, and then we had Joe Biden on the right. Yeah. So Trump was president. The ISM was only below 50 for like 300 days, 320 days, but he was like 800 days. And look what happens. Look at the big effects. Rampant inflation as well. So also altcoins, friends, they've round tripped 8 years against Bitcoin. Ouch. All the way back here. Wow. You've come back here, man. Like shocking. Despite this, though, you know, like I said, the Bitcoin maxis think this time is different. Altcoins is never going to come back. Look, bro, this is what altcoins did last time Trump was president. Yeah? You think this time is different? Has Trump done anything to give you the impression that this time is going to be different in the worst way? No. You know, in fact, it's just like it's going to be pumping up the other way. Let's play some bizarre music.
Bizarre objects in the universe.
Now, See how there's two waves, friends? Altseason Wave 1, Altseason Wave 2. That's what we're playing for. That's the whole year of 2017. That's the double bubble Altseason. We had a double Bitcoin attack move in 2021. It wasn't double bubble Altseason. It was single bubble. Yeah, I think was ready for double bubble Altseason again. Now today, baby dolls, we've seen Ethereum start to move up a bit. We have PulseChain core coins still moving up slightly in the green. Hopefully, I mean, like Ink is back at $3.80. There's a lot of people like obviously worried about, you know, are we going to get a move on? What do you think about the HEX origin address, friends? I have this comment here. I've got some comments here about people's different opinions about HEX and the origin address. I'm going to outlay for you two sides because I want to give you an idea of what the crowd is feeling. So let's start with the positive. The positive is people believe, they go, well, they're happy that the origin address is staking all the HEX to soak up the supply coming out so they can protect the price. They're happy with that on one hand. Yeah, they're making it more scarce. That's the happy side. There's people, a lot of people are upset. I'm seeing like a lot of, you know, like a lot of like long written essays. These are two different people, by the way, two different people. I'll just summarize for you. They're frustrated because the whole origin address existing, because remember, friends, that's basically like it's Richard controls all the coins. Okay, I mean, yes, you can do all the innuendo and the words. Okay, get over that. Richard controlling the coins. The whole purpose of the origin address is to protect the price. But then people feel like, man, it went down 99% anyway. That hurt. Yeah, that's one thing. And we're still down that much. And Bitcoin's above 100K. So they feel like that. And then people feel a bit harmed because the origin address existing prevented, in their mind, exchange listings, rankings. That's why, friends, CoinGecko and exchanges, why don't they list HEX and PulseChain? Because of the origin address. They go, oh, Richard's got 95% of the coins. We don't do that. Even though it's very, very hypocritical, they've listed so many coins, Trump, Celebtone, so many coins where the insiders own 80 to 90% of the coins. They listed XRP when Ripple had literally 60% and were dumping. You know what I mean? Like Richard ain't dumping from their origin address. So, you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is. That's how people feel in their mind. They feel like because what's happened is we've had this like little HEX move up and people in their minds thought, if such an aggressive move was happening, why is like HEX 2 cents when they feel like it should be more like 20 cents with what it's done? And that's where it comes from. They feel like the pump is not justifying all those years of being gatekept. They're like, oh, you should have just, there's like people thinking, oh, you should have made the yield lower and not even have an address at all. But yeah, that's the benefit of hindsight. It really is the benefit of hindsight. You know, you can't go back and change things, friends. You know, interest rates changed, the economy changed. We have like a meme coin abundance now. DeFi and ICOs just keep getting sliced. Sadly, it is what it is, man. You just have to roll with it. The yield was also out of control. Like HEX, if you look at the yield of how much people were earning, man, they're earning 60% per year. Bang, bang, bang. And also, friends, just to let you know, I'm very bullish. I'm very, very bullish. But now, of course, now you're bullish. We're bullish the whole time because the bullish on the community. It is just something to just grasp in your mind when navigating this cycle. Because you've got core coins now, and there's multiple. You've got PulseChain, the Spear. You have PulseX. You have HEX, which obviously is moving on its own. It's great. You have Ink, the greatest and the greenest logo right here, right? And then you have the other magical core coins. You've got PDI, PWBTC, depending on Richard owning and stuff out here in the memes. But yes, we're all sharing the same market cap. That's what it comes down to, sharing the pie. Most people are waiting for HEX to be over $1. Now, here's the thing. Because the HEX yield, a lot of people, you know, it's true. A lot of people were short-term dumping. But the reason why I wasn't getting soaked up is not really HEX's tokenomics. It's more to do with Ethereum and the business cycle. That's why I've shown you everything. But as well, if you really think HEX yield is a problem now, well, if HEX just goes to 6 cents, they're just dumping the same amount anyway. Yeah. So if someone was dumping $10,000 a month worth when at 2 cents, you know, or what it is now, or, you know, at 2 cents, $10,000 worth, now they're only going to be getting like $4,000 a month. Okay. But if HEX just goes to literally 6 cents, which is nothing, you're still 90% below the all-time high, pretty much. You're back to $10,000 dumping a month, I guess. You know, so how much does it really solve? Because you're about to see that it's impacting the future supply, but it's a toggle on it. It's not a real overall change. That's why the chain and everyone's got to carry each other through these times. And, you know, I'll go through the comments here. Gary's done a very, very lovely post here. You have Eric saying, oh, is it really trustless yield when a guy can push a button and change the yield out here? You have Mr. Butter saying, what's the point of staking now if the yield is low? Price go up equals sell for sure. That was always the thing, though. That's everything in crypto. Everything in crypto is like that. You're part of a... Look, man, as you get to see, right? In crypto... Separate the coin from your mind. Put the coin aside. It's a community of people. The coin is like the heartbeat of the community. Yes, but just for if you can, just separate them. Yeah, that community can be in any coin with any tokenomics. Yeah, these 250,000 people, we can go literally move up and go somewhere else. You have the same valuation. Yes, so whether a coin is a red logo or blue logo, it's just different colors of a team. You know, whether you're a soccer team in a country that snows a lot or a country that's an island, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's like changing, it's different flavors of the ice cream. Yes, but it's the same core substance, it's the same people, because it all comes down to network effects and Metcalfe's law. And what you actually find is it doesn't matter what the yield and stuff toggle is, friends. Everyone's here because they believe in the real DeFi principles of Richard Hart. That's what it is. Like freedom of speech, freedom of movement. You think there's value here. Everything's gate kept. Even if you're a total mercenary. Okay, but here's the thing, friends. Like, I use that word. They're not. They pretend they're mercenaries. They're not. There's a lot of people just poopy heads. Like, deep value. Dude, we're doing aggressively more volume than Gardanzo. We're still doing $50 million of volume a day. Okay, what's Gardanzo doing? 3 million. You know, we're doing like 10 times more volume than them. And Pulse PLS is barely 1 billion market cap. Not even. Okay, so we're still like 20x undervalued. Even if you add up all the core coins, we're 4x undervalued. That's still big. That's based off Ethereum's price at 2700. What if Ethereum does a 4x and brings everything up? Okay, change that 4x undervalued. Now we're more like 16x undervalued. Man, that's big. Big opportunity. I also want to give you a special warning, friends. Updates, please. So this one guy, he got hacked, Mr. David Holt. Twitter should be secure just in case. So look at this reply, his earlier message. I got the chance to record an interview with Bloomberg over the last several days. It should be out in an article and video format soon. So please, friends, warning. Do not engage with new people in Twitter or crypto lightly. Do not engage. They will pretend to be from Bloomberg or some sort of media. They try to send you games. That's what happened to Nerd Girl, poor Nerd Girl. Because they said, oh, we'll give you a game. We'll give you money to review this game. You don't have to even like the game. Just review it. We'll pay you money just to look at it. And like, oh, okay, I'll take a few $1,000s to do it. What they do is they go to Steam, friends. They make these little Chinese games. They attach a Trojan to it. It's a copy-paste game. They attach a Trojan to it. You install the game. It installs a keylogger. And then, yeah, basically they got full access to your PC. And then they go through your MetaMask. They just drain everything. Okay, because they know exactly the directory to look. Because MetaMask stores everything in one place. Very, very sad and unfortunate. If you're using a hardware wallet, they can't do that. But like they can. It needs more work. They need to spoof the transaction into your MetaMask on your next thing that appears. So that's why it's like really, really dangerous, man. At least if you have a hardware wallet, the transaction, you got to press the button on your PC. But some people still get done with it. So if they have a hardware wallet, that's what the scammers do, friends. They will, like I said, they'll put a transaction. You think you're doing like a thing on a swap on a chain, like a $30 swap or something. For something, but actually in the background, it's doing a send of your tokens to another address, even though it displays it. I know it can be scary, but hey, this is crypto, man. This is personal self-sovereignty out here. This person, brother, the N-word really sat there for a whole ass interview and video format. So everyone's like kind of like going like, dude, like you really thought Bloomberg wants to come interview you? Oh man, it's tough, friends. Oh no, I draw charts. The grave dancer got drained. Nice, I draw a line got banned. People were mixing us up, which is unfortunate for me because I am not a useless CUNT. I don't know who that person is, but just saying like, feels like a bit of karma out here, but I don't want anyone to lose their money and stuff out here. It's just sad, but yeah, it feels like it's a bit of a karma situation. Grave dancing, yeah, well, everyone in the HEX community knows not to do that this time. Shout out to my friend Foolsy. Ego got him wrecked. He really thought he was a main character. Oh, Ivan Coin needs your help, sir. What's Ivan Coin, sir? What's going on here, Mr. Fishy Face? Yeah, look at this Trojan game they sent me. You're even a character. So Space Fart Program. So there's just, I'm sure that they put me on the They put me in some of the fart games, friends. I want to go through. I just don't have time. I want to go through time. It is funny. It's funny. It's funny. Check this out. Brutal for HEX. Crypto banter.
If you've been holding altcoins, it's been a rough beginning of the year. The last 5 weeks have been absolutely brutal. But the good news, if you've been holding altcoins, it's been a rough beginning of the year. The last 5 weeks have been absolutely brutal. But the good news, absolutely brutal.
It's funny, friends. Thank you to whoever made this. Like, what are the chances the bubble was like right on him? Like, think about how random that is, friends, for these things to like randomly load out here. Look at just like right next to him, the HEX bubble as well. FEX, we call it. Steven, have you seen that memes, friends? Steven, FEX. Oh man, it's beautiful. The poetry writes itself. Now, we're aware of these things, friends. I know there's gatekeeping. Yeah, you want to know why? That's it. Richard didn't pay him. That's it. There's no ICO allocation for them. Okay, financial incentives. It is what it is. Now, here's the thing, friends. There's no wrong or right. It is what it is. So, there's the information gap. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. When, say, Brandy Boo looks at PulseChain, he sees, oh, you haven't paid me. I don't care. You see? When he then tells his audience nothing about it, people don't think it's important. And honestly, that's okay. That is where opportunity comes. The O word, friends. Friends, orange juice. Opportunity. Oranges. The opportunity now is, we now look at that thing he's not talking about. We look at PulseChain and we go, okay, are you not looking at it because it's an abandoned rug and it's useless? And it's like maybe IOTA from 2017 and like Litecoin and there's low energy there. Are you ignoring it because it's that? Or are you ignoring it for another reason? So you don't know that, friends. You don't know. That's why it's hard work, right? You have to go through every single coin. You don't even find them. You don't have enough time. But we know, hey, there's 250,000 community members, 170 content creators. We have 2 HEX conferences, a HEX and a PulseChain conference every year. Origin Address is making moves. There's a sacrifice wallet in there. We've got a pirate. We've got a doctor. We've got a lawyer. We've got a fluffy microphone. Yeah. All these wonderful things are here. We actually have real DeFi. And then you're like, oh, but is anybody using it? Yeah, bro. Corridanzo, another top 10 coin, is doing $3-4 million of on-chain volume. We're doing 10 times that. Yes? So you can go through, friends. You can go through and you can be a booby head and ignore all these. Or you can just understand that PulseChain is doing as much on-chain volume activity as a heartbeat as a top 10 coin. You see? And by the way, friends, what I'm about to say might come across as racist again. Deal with it. Tron is rank 11, 20 billion market cap. Tron, Justin Sun's coin, only did $6 million of market cap, on-chain volume. 6 million. I'm not making this up. And look, here's the thing. So, even if you go tell these people, okay, they'll say, show me your lollipop. I'll go, here it is. But they'll also say, how do we know that volume is real? It could be Richard Hart with like weird bots going up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, that just gave me deja vu talking to you. You want to know why? When I first looked at HEX, because I didn't know what Uniswap was or nothing. I saw the Uniswap volume. I thought it was Richard fake bots. I didn't know it was real volume. Yeah, that's like years and years, like 5 years ago. That's why I thought it was scamming. I had no idea what the hell was going on. And then I was like, something's going on here. This thing, you can't fake the volume. It's not a centralized exchange. That's what made me kind of like start thinking maybe I was being lied to from everyone because I wanted to kill Richard Hart because I thought it was just a full-on scam and rugger. That's what everyone was saying. I'm like, wait a minute. That's why, friends, you go to where everyone's saying, okay, this thing's really, really bad. I'm like, okay, let's have a look at it though. Do you see this information gap? The information gap, friends, read it. Here's reality. And here is this gap, okay? Actually, this gap. So this is, the top is reality, and then this is where the average information person is. If you can gain information and you can get closer to the reality, you get a full picture. Then you can see, oh my gosh, this thing is better than what everyone thinks. If Tron's only doing 6 million on-chain volume and its market cap is 20 billion, well, PulseChain, man, even if you're conservative, you want to add up all the core coins, friends, you're still looking at 4 billion market cap. You're like, whoa, we're blowing you guys out of the water. Just to match you, we're 4x away. If you add up all the core coins. Just to match. Why should we match you, man? We should be doing like, a double on top of that. Yeah. I know. HEX. That's off Ethereum's price today. What if Ethereum was $10,000 instead of $2,600? Now, do you see what I mean? That's how you can find all these things out. So while we wait for everything to basically turn around, all we can do is just look for the stars, friends. Hope this business ISM and everything turns up. This is the weekly chart for PulseChain out here. Yeah, we need Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything to move up. It's all in God's hands now, really. I mean, this is the end of the road. Like, there's no more excuses. There's no excuses, really. It's just like, we're lucky this thing even works. No more excuses. Altcoins, you got to start going up. Literally, March, you have to start going up. If not, you're going to get hurt real bad. Like and subscribe. Catch you soon.